Hello everyone, welcome to Bonsai Expression. I'm Christoph and today I am doing a late repot on, well, this awesome Chinese elm. Now I'm probably about a week, maybe a week and a half late to this beautiful Chinese elm, but because it's a Chinese elm I'm not concerned about being late to this one. I wouldn't normally repot this late on, but as I say, it's a Chinese elm, and I know my Chinese elms, I've done this plenty of times before. I haven't got any concerns doing it this late. To be in fact and truthful with you, yes, I've done this before. I've actually done repots on a Chinese elm in full growth in the middle of summer. Now, I don't recommend doing it, but I've done full root prunes, gone hard on them in the middle of summer, and they've been fine. Now, I don't recommend doing it, but I've done it as an experiment, and then I've done it over and over again to prove my point that Chinese elms are so hardy, so brilliant of a species. That is why they're a #1 recommendation from myself. As a beginner, they are brilliant, and they're pretty much bulletproof. Right? They're not 100% bulletproof, but yeah, they're pretty much bulletproof. So as a beginner tree, recommend them. As an intermediate, recommend them. As a pro tree, recommend them. In fact, one of my favourite tree species to be working on. Hence why I've got no concern that I'm going to be doing this work today and this tree is going to kick on without losing a beat. So today I'm going to be working on it, going to be working on the roots. It's overdue, as I say, a root prune today. 2 years it's been in this pot. This tree I've been developing. If you remember my last video, I mentioned that this tree was one of the trees that I did like on top. I worked on it, and then when I did my initial root prune on it, I come to discover that the roots weren't anywhere near the degree of development, or even not even development, but the radial that I'd like. They ended up splitting off, and the only way I could at least figure that I might work in the future with them is decided to put a rock underneath. Because I've put so much time and effort in the top, I just put a rock underneath, and I thought, I'm not really too keen on the way the roots are going. I don't really want to go ahead and carry on working on this tree. So I just left it in one corner, and you know what, after the big cut I made with all the rest of the tree, and I did a root prune, it then decided that after all the effort I put into it, it responded to that good effort. That's how bonsai works, really. You put the effort in, the tree responds to it, and it did. So then I thought, after a little bit of neglect, and I seen it coming along, I thought, you know what, I'm going to continue with it. So alas, I've continued with it. The tree has responded kindly. It's looking good. So in turn, I'm continually looking after this tree, and it is one of my better trees. I really like this one. As you can see, it's looking pretty snazzy. So I think I'm going to continue looking after this one, and a good root prune and a good root development continuation is the right way to go with it. So today it's all about looking at them roots. I've got a nice big thick root girdling, in a good way that is, girdling and straddling the rock that is there, that's been placed under by myself. So I'm going to check it out. I'm going to move my little tortoise out of the way, and yes, once we're done I'm going to be putting it back on there. Now I might even give it a nice little upgrading pot. So yeah, let's have a look at the roots, see where we're at. Hopefully we've got some nice thick roots that have straddled the rock kindly. So the effort I've put in the top has rewarded me in the bottom. Let's take a look at it. I've already cut all the wires out. Now I want to make sure that this comes out in one. So let's see. A few gentle taps. No. As I say, it's been in here for 2 years, so I'm going to have to score around the edges. So let's just get my tool. Okay, so I've gone for my root rake. That's got a flat edge around the side, and we've gone for the good old trusty cutter for around the edges. So we'll start with that. And I can already see, and just by dragging this, I can feel the roots around the edges. There we go, it's getting caught. We've got plenty of roots in here. 2 years growth. So leaving it, and the health of the tree has done its job, providing us with good root growth. Let's get in there. Now, continue to scroll around the edge like this. We should just hopefully be able to lift it out, or continue to give it a few gentle taps. It's coming, bit of leverage, and the tree should just pop out. There we go, come on. Lovely, the tree's out. And we've got, there we go, nice healthy amount of roots going around the bottom, as you can see. So them ones are going to be coming off. They're thick, well, not stupidly thick, but they are a decent amount of thick. So I'm going to be trimming them away. They go right round the tree at the base. So first thing, I'll just go ahead and trim them off, and then we start raking some of this out. So I'll just clear this away, and then we'll come back and we'll continue on. Oh, I tell you what, it's getting warm again now the sun's come out. Now, you can see these roots are a bit thicker than you would want. I'm not saying we don't want that size of root. So obviously this root up here is a good size, and that is clinging onto the rock. But somewhere down here, this is not the size that we would like. So I'm just going to go ahead and snip these ones, as these are the ones that are obviously looping around the tree, and that one's even slightly thicker. So if I could just neaten these up, we'll just go ahead. And you can see I'm just keeping the tree in this position. I'm not going ahead and moving it out the way, because I just want to take these roots off that I'll do in laps basically. So there we go. So once I've just cleaned them up, then I'll start digging into the roots. Got plenty down here, so we'll just get a good handful of this. Just come in. There we go. Okay, and I can see a big root down at the bottom there as well, but I'm not going to take that off just yet. Okay, we've snipped those off, and now I can start peeling away. I'll just take these ones off and start peeling away what goes round. So this should ideally, if I just get my rook, that doesn't make sense, my little root hook, this should now make my job a lot easier. There we go. So all my soil should theoretically just come away at the sides. There you go, look at that. So I'll start digging into this. As we start progressing, I'll come back to you. So you don't want to see me do this, because it's just repetitive. But I'll get into it. As we get a good chunk out of it, I'll come back. Unless there's an issue then I'll show you that. If there's no issue, I'll show you the main bit where we get to. But we might have some sort of issues. I've got a good chunk of roots around here. I've got one curling round here. That's could be potentially an issue. And then one round there, or it could just be a case of it's holding onto the rock. Either way, we'll have a look when we come back. Okay, I've been working my way through, just dragging as much of this root system out as I can. So I've been literally stabbing it because it's been thick with obviously fertilizer, and then obviously just all the other mucks and soils and everything else that's been obviously just gathered over the last couple of years that goes into my soils. And obviously fertilizer and other particles that falls and breaks down obviously gets thick, and obviously the build-up of roots as well, it gets pretty thick. As you can see, it's still pretty thick, but it's done its job. You know, look at that, the root system is awesome on this now, and it's held onto that rock really well. I did manage to split the odd root, but I'm not too concerned about that. But the root system itself is in really good shape. Do you know what? I couldn't have asked for a better root system. Let me just move the tree. Look at that. I did take an awful lot of root with it, but the majority of the roots is there. It's really well. I did go ahead and snip quite a bit in the bottom off, in terms of just a big chunk here. But other than that, nothing major. Just a big root here that was in the way. But everything else, that's it, really. Nothing else came off. So I'm happy with how this is going. I'm just going to continue to just drag out these end ones and make sure everything is radial. And then anything that is curling, you know, I'm not going to dwell on anything too much, but I'm going to try and pull out everything else that goes in the wrong direction. I'm going to snip off, as I say, anything that's in the wrong direction. It curls upwards. So I've got a, oh, you can see it here, just on this corner bit. It goes down and then shoots back up. So I'm just going to come in and just cut just there, so that way it can continue to establish going the right direction. This one grows upwards, but I think with the soil, once it goes down, that one goes off. Once that, it'll push that one back down. All these other roots are in the right direction, but this one here, it looks like it's grown out and then grown and fused with this. So if I snip it here, let's see if we can just pull the rest of that out. And then if I just come in and just take that section out, just there, and then this bit bends and curls. I'm just going to take the end off, continue to develop. My glove's in the way, I'm sorry. But yeah, everything else there. So this is the refining work that I'm just looking at, making sure everything else comes out correctly. I've got this one that comes off, bends down, but then shoots off in an awkward direction. So I'm just going to come in, cut it there, then I've got the little section. So it's just detailed work that we're looking at doing, I think, now. Make sure everything else is correct. I'll just be going around, just looking at it. That one goes up. The root system I'm really impressed with. That goes off. I can readjust that. Let's turn it back round this way. So the one here that I did, unfortunately, split. I'm just going to come out, take off completely. The rest of these roots, I can adjust. Still like them. I like everything else that goes out in that direction. It's coming out from the bottom and goes up along. So even though it's not quite radial, it goes in, fills this gap. I do like it. I will be utilising it. Clear that section off. I've got that one there, rose up. Let's just take it off and clean it. I've got one underneath here. I'm gonna take out just the back there. This one comes off and then curls away. Will it be able to straighten? It probably could, but do you know what? I think I've got plenty of roots. I'm just gonna take it back and allow it to establish back the way I want it to. The same with these. I'm just gonna take that off. And that one as well. I've got plenty of root here, even though it's long and established. And this one grows around the tree and then comes off. Actually goes around this section here. I think if I left it, I'm going to try and pull it, and I know it's going to snap, but I want to take it off. I don't like the idea, I don't like it ever on my trees where a potential root girdles a tree. I'm going to get at it and pull it out. So that's there. Let me see if I can change my tool, and I think actually it brings all that over there as well. So I'm just going to come in, snip that. There we go. This isn't the neatest cut so far, but there we go. Now, is that a part of that? Now, I can't quite tell, but I think we'll soon find out if some roots die off. Where does it go? No, I think that's a different root. The whole section grows up. Let's take it off. Still not convinced that isn't a section of that root. Everything is looking pretty cool, and I've got plenty of rock on show now. Yeah, I'm gonna get this potted up, and I think hopefully I can get it in a new pot. Right, I've chosen a new pot, and I think this is gonna look sweet. So this nice little pot is gonna go with this tree. Just look at this. This is gonna look awesome. So it's gonna go hopefully on that side there. Okay, now let me just move the camera. Just look at that. That is gonna look amazing. So let's get this potted up. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. New planting angle. Look at that. You can see it's slightly to the left, so it gives it more of a conical shape. You've got my little tortoise back in frame, and now you can see the rock. It's more exposed now. You've got the roots that you can see hanging onto the rock. They are a little bit more exposed, and you can see the other roots on the other side. So I'll give you a proper spin. You can see it now. Look at that. Well, agree with me or disagree with me, but I think you will agree with me, this pot suits the tree well, spectacularly. Just look at it. It looks so much better in this pot. Now it's a little bit dirty because obviously I've got dirty hands and I've been messing about with it, getting it in pot. But I'll give it a clean up in a minute. But as you can see, just look at the tree now. All in, coming in growth now properly. In the next couple of weeks, this will properly in growth. I can't speak properly. I'm so stoked with it. But you can see, if you have a look in there, you can see properly. So this is the big root splitting off from the other tap root that it had, and then it goes out that way, and then obviously the other roots are all binding now. So that is where I had to make a decision back in the day. So now you've got the main big root, and it goes across, the other one goes down and across and around. So that was where I was disappointed first of all when I came to do the roots originally, and I was like, I've spent all the time and effort up top. I'm so disappointed with the roots. What do I do? Do I elevate it, cut it off? And I was like, bleh. Throw a rock in it, throw it in the corner. I don't care. I'll deal with it later on. And it responded well up top. So I was like, let's see what happens. And it's stuck to the rock really well. So I like the root over rock look. You know, it's coming along quite nicely. The top is done its job. I've continued to prune back. I think maybe continue to refine it, pushing it back, letting it grow out, pushing it back. Clip and grow work really well with the Chinese elm. So don't wire them up. Just please don't. They look, in my opinion anyway, I mean, if you like it, go for it, do what you want. But in my opinion, clip and grow is the best way to do a Chinese elm. I mean, especially if you want to put your movement in it, do an S shape like this, then do your clip and grow. The movement itself is, and an S shape is fine that way. I don't mind it like this, and then, but then when it comes to your branches, clip and grow is the best way to do it. But if you have everything S shape wise, it looks so unnatural. It just looks like your tree is trying to do a bit of this, and no tree gets out there and does a bit of pop and lock. Beep, 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 beep. No, don't do it. It's a no-no. It's a no-no. Just clip and grow, and then that way, if you clip and grow in it, you know, it over time it continually looks natural because you just clip and grow, clip and grow, clip and grow. As it's longer, you can clip it back. As longer, clip and back, longer, clip and back. That's a natural thing to do. Whereas if it's getting longer, you're cutting it back, you're wiring it, you're cutting it back, you're wiring it, you're cutting it back, you're wiring it, and it's a pain in the backside. And yeah, you're forever doing it. You're like. So yeah, even if you've got, like I say, an S-shaped tree, cut it all off, do your clip and grow, and it'll look something like that. Even if you let it grow out long, like I say, and you're doing your clip and grow, some of these I'll obviously I've got long bits in it. I can come back, I can clip it to this, and make it less long. I'll get the back buds, and then I can clip it back to that bit because I'll have more back buds, and then as I say, as it'll grow longer, then internodal sections will be less and less and less because I'll have more back bud in between, and then yeah, that's how your clip and grow works. Over time, them internodal sections will go shorter and shorter, shorter, and you'll have more branches. It just looks natural, and that's what you're aiming for. But I think, as you can see, the pot looks good. The roots look really nice over that rock. My tortoise gives it that little bit of extra. You don't have to do your tortoise if you don't want to, but for me, my missus got it me. I think it looks nice. And if I don't use my tortoise, she'll shout at me. But I like it anyway, because not just because she bought it, but I do like it. And it pops off. It's pretty weighty. There you go. Look at my tortoise. It's cool. So that goes on there. We'll call him Michelangelo. Cowabunga dudes. Anyways, if you like it, please do give me a thumbs up. As I say, I've got absolutely no reason that this won't work. It's Chinese elm. I've done root work in the middle of summer. So yeah, I know I'm late with the old root work, but this is going to work. Yeah, Chinese elms, don't worry about it. So please don't leave in the comments saying, Christoph, you've left it too late. I haven't with a Chinese elm. They're fine. Try it yourself. It'll be all right. So leave me a like, leave me a comment. Please don't be a negative comment, because it's going to work. I'll prove it to you when it lives, survives, flushes out. Yeah, give me a like, give me a subscribe, do all that good fun stuff. And also, now, if you haven't already, now is the time to start fertilizing your trees. I'm going to be doing it today. I won't be doing it on this one for obvious reasons. Although I might liquid seaweed feed it, because that's fine. But in terms of everything else I'll be doing, that's what this is. I'll be using, let me just show you, because I know I'll be getting questions. I will be starting off with a multi-purpose. There you go, you can see it. Multi-purpose grainy stuff. And I think that stuff is a 1077. So that'll be going on all the trees. And then I also use a chicken pellet. That's chicken poo for all you people. That's really good. Mrs. doesn't like that stuff, it stinks. I also use liquid seaweed in the water as a mix, and I use that all the time, even when I do my repots. So I'll be starting that as well, even on that. So yeah, that's what I start doing. And then sometimes, occasionally, I'll be using a chemical 20, which is damn, I can't remember what that's called, but it's the same one as Nigel Saunders. So if you yeah, so yeah, that's what I use for feed. So just in case you ask. Anyway, if you like it, please leave a thumbs up and please subscribe. Yeah. So see you on the next one. I'm out of here, over and out. Crack on with your bonsai, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.